Okay. See if I can't find the stream. Hopefully it isn't too far away. +1. Yeah. The audio's working as it should. Game audio as well as the party audio, it's all working as it should. The stream's up, the chat's up. We're all good to go. Now folks, we have started a tad bit early, or I should say I've started on time, but it seems like we're going to take a little while to make sure everybody gets into the lobby. This may take a minute, may take 2 minutes, or with what happened with a different league recently, may take up to 10 minutes. So who knows? All we can do is be patient and wait. Not the most amount of drivers for this round of the championship. I'm not surprised attendance has dipped a little bit after the race at Kota. Have a squeeze around Thursey's house, shall we? Seeing as we've got nothing else better to do. Oh, I'll be interested to see, a bit off topic, but I would be interested to see what Codemasters do with F1 Life and F1 23. Because I could say with absolute confidence that it's not exactly a game-changing introduction at all. In fact, the whole F1 Life thing has been widely considered to be a bit of a joke. Actually, it's probably a bit more than a bit. It is a joke. It has absolutely no gameplay relevance whatsoever. So hopefully, in F1 23, they refine this a bit and maybe added into the single-player career mode. If they could, it would be really cool to get that sort of driver perspective, not only behind the wheel but also outside of the confines of the garage and outside of the paddock. Give us an idea of what it's like to be a Formula 1 driver. A proper idea, anyway. So what are we waiting on? No idea. I've also got a couple of names returning. There's Ooga Booga, who I love saying his name, it's great, for racing for the first time in what seems like an eternity. And Lopez as well in the Williams. He's replacing Mitch Burns, I believe, for this round. So yeah, a couple of names to come back. Oh, well, it's been a while since they've had classic cars in the game now, Deathstorm. I agree with you. The classic cars gave us something. At least something to play with. They sounded great too. They did a really solid job with the visual and sound design of those classic cars. It's a pity though they weren't particularly popular in terms of league racing. I know a couple of leagues here and there tried to make classic car leagues, try and make them work. But they never really did. But they are a nice touch. Allows us to reflect on years past and see the journey from older Formula 1 seasons up until now. See how much the cars have evolved. Yeah, the 06 Renault is it's an iconic car. Iconic colour scheme. One of the most iconic colour schemes of any race car ever. Great noise. Of course, we all know Fernando Alonso doing a few laps in that around Abu Dhabi on slick tyres. Just a really cool thing to see and a cool thing to hear as well. So, I saw recently as well Charles Leclerc had a similar experience, but with the, I think it was the F2003 Ferrari. that gave Michael Schumacher's his sixth World Championship. Seeing that thing screech its way around Abu Dhabi was quite a nice sight to see. Alright, let's get the introductions out of the way then. So hello everyone and welcome to round 4 of the AM1 Championship here on Contest of Speed. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at the Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Constructed in 2016 and designed by, yet again, the track-making supremo that is Herman Tilke, this 3.73 mile, 20-turn racetrack has gained a reputation of being one of the most chaotic circuits on the Formula 1 schedule. This is due to several factors, first of which is the fact that it's a street circuit. Concrete walls line the edge of the racetrack, so if a driver makes a mistake, there's a very high chance they'll have an accident with a wall. And the wall always wins. It always wins. Secondly, it features several demanding technical sections, the most infamous of which is the castle section that is formed by turns 8 through 12. It's incredibly narrow at only 22 feet across, and it's taken at quite a quick speed. Even a minuscule mistake will result with a meet and greet with the barrier, and remember the first point, the wall always wins. Thirdly, even though it's a street circuit, it's actually not impossible to battle side by side here. The circuit consists of 2 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of turns 1 and 3. Turn 7 is another potential overtaking spot, as well as turn 16, but for the most part the overtaking will be done with DRS. This circuit, like last week over in Austin, provides a great challenge and a great opportunity for great racing. But before we focus on what's happening out on track, there is some news to go through first from last week's race. Now, from what I could tell, there weren't any incident reports from last week's race over in Kota, so the final finishing results remained unchanged. In the Drivers' Championship, it has been shaken up quite a bit after the recent events that happened prior to Montreal, or rather after Montreal, I should say. So the championship table now looks like this. Barmer 22 leading the way on 78 points, followed by Vermeil on 51, Darth Vader on 43, Saint on 20, Switchback on 12, followed by Mitch Burns on 10, Cam Tizzle and Burzy are equal 7 and 8. They're on 8 points. And Electric Blade and Elite Game Boy are P9 and P10, both on 4 points. In the Constructors, Red Bull are leading on 98, followed by Ferrari on 59, Haas on 43, McLaren on 27, and Williams round out the top 5 on 24. Behind them is Aston Martin on 18, Alpine on 12, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo hold P8 and 9. They currently have 5 points each, and Mercedes are still at the bottom of the table with a grand total of none next to their name. That's pretty much it in terms of news. We'll now be able to focus on this qualifying session. Seems like Schulz is going to be the first driver to attempt a flying lap. We're going to ride on board and give you a tour of this 3.7 mile racetrack. Into turn 1, easily the best overtaking spot on the circuit. It's a short shoot up to turn 2. 6th gear, back down to 2nd, short shifting up to 2nd. He went all the way down to 1st, really interesting. Don't usually see people go all the way down to 1st gear at turn 2. Currently in top gear, braking at the 100 meter board, brings it down to 1st and short shifts up to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, 6th gear, back down to 1st, short shifts up to 2nd, 3rd, 4th gear, 5th gear, heading up towards turns 5 and 6. This tight chicane. You have to be very careful on the accelerator on the exit, especially if you're not using traction control. Heading up towards the hairpin of turn 7, a potential overtaking spot. It's a bit difficult and it's usually quite clumsy to make a move stick there. Into the castle section, turns 8, 9, 10, into 11, and then turn 12. You have to get turn 12 pretty spot on, because that left-hander will dictate how much speed you carry around turn 13 and turn 14. Heading towards turn 15 now, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd, down to 1st even. Gee whiz, he must be using an automatic gearbox. I don't think that's manual. Down to 2nd, short shifts up to 3rd on the exit. Around turn 17, up towards turn 18, around turn 19, and 1 corner remains turn 20, an insignificant right-hand flick that leads back onto the very, very long main straightaway. Out of turn 16 towards turn 1, that's 2 kilometers long. It's quite a lengthy, flat-out section. So you need a car that's quite quick in a straight line. Schulz sets the benchmark of 40.0. Scavney goes P2 with a 40.9. Burzy making his way out of turn 6. Heading down towards turn 7. It is manual. That's quite interesting that he uses first gear like that, though. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go all the way down to first gear anywhere on any racetrack in F1 22. As Vermeulen has gone up to pole position with a 39.6. Yeah, no, it's quite an unorthodox way of changing gears. It's very reminiscent of F1 2019, where you definitely needed to do that in order to achieve maximum lap time. You needed to use every single gear in the gearbox around every single corner, it seemed like. You need to go all the way down to first and short shift up to a gear where you can apply it to full throttle without spinning out. It changed obviously quite a lot in F1 2020 and F1 2021. Here in F1 2022 it seems more recommended that you use higher gears and you barely even touch the lower gears. Burzy jumps up to P3 with a 40.6 effectively. Lopez, a driver who I haven't seen in quite some time, is out on track right now as Barmer's jumped to the top. He's just beaten Vermeulen by a 1/10.5. Lopez making his way around turn 14 towards turn 15. Definitely one of the trickier corners on the racetrack as Schulz has crashed out. That is at turn 19. He is out of qualifying. Deary me. Oh, and Lopez almost did the same, but at turn 16. So he's lost control of the car through here. He's put it into the wall, so Schulz is out of qualifying. Best he can hope for is P3. Unfortunately for him, we're in the very, very early stages of qualifying. Lopez will cross the line. P10 from the Williams driver. 1 minute 42.0. Ooga Booga's getting ready. Nortec is getting ready to set a flying lap. Same with Wingett. Nortec will cross the line to begin his run. Into turn 1 he goes. Why are we still with this camera angle exactly? Then it changes. That took forever to change. Gee whiz. Out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Ooga Booga is back, KD. He's here participating in this race here at Baku. Down towards turn 3. Down through the gearbox. Down to second gear. Uses all of second on the exit. Climbing up through the gearbox and down into second gear again for turn 4. Towards the chicane of turns 5 and 6. You have to be very careful at turn 6 in particular. That inside curb can well and truly unsettle the car. It could put you into a spin, or even worse, it can make your car understeer into the barrier on the outside and damage your front wing. Through the castle section now, heading around turn 11 into turn 12. Gently applying the throttle on the exit. Now around the 2 flat-out left-handers of turns 13 and 14, up towards turn 15 now. Back down to third gear, clobbers that inside curb. I think he grazed the outside wall there, I'm not sure. Ooga Booga gets out of the way. Around turn 16, one of the more critical corners on the racetrack. Especially considering the fact that every corner after turn 16 can be carried absolutely flat out, as Nortec is demonstrating. Down the main straightaway now with DRS open. What kind of peak speed will we see here? 207, 208, 209, 210? Not quite. Nortec goes 8th fastest with a 41.6. Ooga Booga doesn't look like he's on a flying lap. He's on wet weather tyres. Interesting. What's happening up here? The 2 drivers off to the side. Trying to let traffic through, I'm assuming. Ooga Booga's just mucking around, it seems like, at the moment. Wingett making his way out of turn 6, heading down towards turn 7. Get hard on the brakes here, all the way down to second gear, down to first gear even, almost going into the outside barrier. there at turn 7. Through the castle section now, so very careful through there. Keeping it second at the exit of turn 12. Heading up the hill. Yeah, I don't know. Around turn 15, down to second gear. Nice and gentle on the exit. Okay. Gave himself plenty of room between himself and the barrier on the outside. Around turn 16, car looks pretty stable. No oversteer, no wheel spin. Now through the flat out section of turns 17 and 18. Well and truly on the edge of grip there. Sorry, 18 and 19. Got my corners mixed up. DRS open, heading up towards the line. Clock says he does a 40.7. That is P6 for Wing It. He is 21 thousandths of a second behind Electric Blade in P5. Berzy getting himself ready. Surely Uga is just, oh well, he's put it into the wall there at turn 15. Turn 14, I should say. Yeah. Not really sure what he's up to. Matty Robbo making his way around turn 1. Oh, that's very close to the Rolex barrier on the outside there. Gee whiz, that was close. Around turn 2. DRS open down the back straight away towards turn 3. 7th gear, 8th gear. Peak speed we'll see into turn 3. 203 miles an hour. Brings it down to 63 miles an hour at the apex of turn 3. Round turn 4. Steady on the exit. Car looked pretty stable there. Around turn 5. Into turn 6. Well and truly avoiding that inside curve. That's not a bad strategy. As I mentioned earlier, that curve can be quite nasty. Cutting a fair chunk there at turn 7. It's quite remarkable how much you can cut through turn 7. How much the game will allow you to cut. Out of turn 12. Heading towards turn 13. Absolutely flat out around these two left-handers. Ooga Booga has left the session. Of course he has. Oh. That car did look a tad bit squirrely as he leapt over the curb at turn 13, but kept it in check, kept it well away from the barrier too. Now, through turns 18 and 19. Absolutely flat out. Oh, I think he scraped the barrier there. He had to. Could hear the thud through the audio. Had to hit the wall. Very lucky he's still running. It's a 42-1. Goes slowest so far, just behind his teammate Lopez. 800 separating these two. Vermeer currently up by a 10.5 to the first sector, making his way through the middle sector now. Second gear, back on the accelerator using the full width of the circuit, and then some at the exit of turn 12. Gee whiz, getting very close to the wall there. Now into turn 15, second gear. Nice and tidy over the outside curb. To the middle sector. He is down by 56 thousandths of a second. If he's made any changes to the car, he might be able to find some time here in the final sector. If he's lowered the wings at all. If he hasn't though, I don't think he'll be gaining that time back. He might be going back into the pits, and he is. Yeah. So it wasn't the best middle sector from Vermeer, and as a result he's bailed on the lap. He's moved back into pit lane. Berzy on a in-lap, I believe. Scavney on an in-lap. Out of fuel. That's why there were yellow flags being displayed around him. Switchback, I believe, is going back into the pits. DK Nortec, I think, has just started a lap. Into turn 3, heading up towards turn 4. Down to second gear, back on the accelerator. Towards the first sector split. And he's up. He's up by just under 0.2 of a second, though. He has to find a considerable amount of time over the course of this lap. If he wants to move up any position, he has to essentially find half a second. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Around turn 8, 9, 10 and 11. And around turn 12. That formed the castle section. Now around the old city of Baku. The old city is located to the left-hand side of the track, to the inside of the track. Basically go all the way around the old city. Down the hill towards turn 16. Nortec is up. Well, he's found that half a second. He's found that time. He just needs to string this final sector together. Through turn 18. Round turn 19. Absolutely flat out. Giving himself a wide berth between himself and the barrier. Down the main straightaway with DRS open. Up towards the line now for Nortec. He will improve. Can he gain position? Yes, he can. He can gain one place. A 41.069 beats Garvey's 41.138. Warren now on a flying lap, making his way into turn 1. Did briefly see yellow flags when he made his way around turn 16. My guess is that he just checked himself up to make sure he was ready to go on his flying lap. Might have made a mistake, I'm not sure. Well, he's decided to back out of this run. He's not going for it here right now. He's going to let the timer tick down a little bit more. Maybe try and dump some extra fuel out of the car, so we can set a more optimal lap right at the death of qualifying. Down towards turn 3 goes Garvey. Hard on the brakes here. Down to second. Short shifts to third. Very tidy run through turn 3. Round turn 4. Tidy again from the McLaren driver. Clock says to the first sector though, he's down by 44 thousandths of a second. I must say the lap overall so far has been pretty tidy. Out of turn 7. Again, the car looks quite stable. Into the castle section. Third gear, second gear. Makes his way through pretty well. Alright. Up towards the flat out left-handers of turns 13 and 14. Nice and tidy. Alright. Now the tricky turn 15. Avoids the inside curb. Gets a nice run on the exit. Up towards the middle sector split. Garvey improves now by 44 thousandths of a second. Oh, hello, Lopez. What are you up to? Spinning at turn 1. Ruining this flying lap attempt. He has to be careful. He doesn't have a lot of time left in qualifying. He might be able to put one more lap together, but it will be a bit touch and go. Barmer getting ready. Vermeulen on a flying lap. He's up by a 10th and 3/4 to the middle sector. Garvey has improved as well. He's done a 41.084, but he's missed out on improving position by 15 thousandths of a second. And it appears that Vermeulen has backed out of this final lap. Now, he is low on fuel. You can tell on the telemetry he's got that flashing fuel icon. So, does he have enough fuel to do one more lap? He's got 0.9 laps worth of fuel in the car. There's no way he'll be able to do one more lap. His session is over, surely. Yeah, it is. He's going back into the pits. Alrighty then. It's down to Barmer, I suppose, if he decides to go on a proper flying lap attempt. We've seen him disqualify himself in previous rounds, though it seems like he's not going to be doing that here at Baku. Got to give credit to Schulz as well. He's maintained that third place after that crash towards the beginning of qualifying. See if Thursby can jump in though. He's making his way towards turn 3. Entry speed 204 miles an hour. So down to third gear, back on the accelerator, nice and tidy. Through 3, now into turn 4. Well, maybe a little bit of understeer, but he got enough rotation to not hit the barrier, and he's up as well by just over 1/10 of a second. Scavney has invalidated this final run. Electric Blade making his way through the castle section. Currently P6 with a 40.7. If he wants to improve position, he has to improve by a little over a 10th. Wingett, meanwhile, also coming towards the end of a flying lap. He does have a Williams right in front. That must be Matty Robbo. Through the final sector. Absolutely flat out through turns 18 and 19. Nice line by both Wingett and Robbo. Down the main straightaway now. Does Robbo peel into the pits? No, he is not. So Robbo will cross the line. He jumps up to P5. Wingett takes P5 from him. Wingett does a 40.3. Matty Robbo a 40.5. Jumping up to P3 now is Electric Blade. 1 minute 40.044. Seems that Burzy has bailed out of this run. Meanwhile, Barmer is up by 0.4 of a second to the middle sector. Keeps it nice and narrow out to the final corner. He'll open DRS and head up towards the line. This might be a high 38. Barmer will cross the line. It's a 39.001. He just misses out on setting a 38. There we are. So it will be Barmer who will start from pole position here in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Vermeer will start alongside him in second with a time that is 6/10 slower than our championship leader. Electric Blade recovers well at the end of qualifying. He'll start P3. Schulz, remember, retired right at the beginning of qualifying, will start on the second row in fourth. That first benchmark lap was quite good from him. Outside of those top four places, we have Burzy in P5, followed by Wingett in P6, Matty Robbo in 7th, Scavney 8th, Switchback 9th, and Warren rounds out the 10. Next we have DK Nortek, a Garvey in 12th, Lopez 13th, and Ooga Booga will start from the very back after setting a 1 minute 56.0. Quite a competitive lap time, I'm sure you would say. Alrighty. Race time here in Azerbaijan, and just like qualifying, the race is going to be nice and dry. We shouldn't have any wet weather interference whatsoever heading into the race. It's all going to be nice and dry. Hopefully it won't take too long to load into the formation lap. Alright, as you can see, absolutely clear here in the city of Baku. Not a single cloud in the sky. Now, in terms of strategy, has been a little while since I've done a race here in Azerbaijan, so my memory doesn't serve me too well for this racetrack. But if we go off other circuits in this game, it usually comes down to one of two strategies. You either start on the mediums and go to the hards, or you start on the hards and go to the mediums. So yeah, it's very, very straightforward in F122. The soft tyre, I don't believe, is at all useful here in Azerbaijan. Unless, of course, we potentially have a late race safety car. Which, knowing this circuit, is entirely possible. As I mentioned in the intro, Baku City Circuit is definitely one of the more chaotic racetracks on the Formula 1 schedule. I mean, you look at real-life Formula 1 and it paints a perfect picture of what this track is all about. It's just drama and chaos. Some good passing opportunities, though, around the racetrack, so hopefully we get to see some good side-by-side action. But if we're going to see anything happen here tonight, it's going to be drama at some stage. Right, let's see who's starting on what tyre. Okay, it's a bit of a mix and match for the start of this Grand Prix. On pole position is our championship leader, Barmer 22. He's starting on the hard tyre. Vermeer is starting alongside on the mediums. Behind him is Electric Blade in P3, also on the mediums. Same with Schulz in P4, Burzy in P5, and Wingett in P6. The next driver to start on the hard compound tyre is Matty Robbo in 7th. Scavney, the driver lining up alongside him on the 4th row, is starting on the medium compound tyre. Switchback is starting on the hard, same with Warren, Nortek, and Garvey in P12. Lopez is the last driver starting on the medium compound tyre, and Ooga Booga, starting from the back, is on the hard tyre himself. So we have 1, 2, 7. Oh, it's an even split. Okay. So we have 7 on the medium, 7 on the hards, 50-50. So 50% of the field will get it right, 50% of the field will get it wrong. Be interesting to see who gets it right and who gets it wrong. We'll get rid of the tyre graphic for now, just to improve the viewing space out on track. The leaders are making their way down towards the final sector. One of the more obnoxious things about these lengthy sized racetracks is how long the formation lap is and how long safety car periods are. This racetrack and Spa in particular take forever to try and get through formation laps and safety car periods, just because of the sheer size of the lap. Well, there's the game telling me the mediums can do somewhere between 11 to 15 laps. Interesting. Well, that can mean that the mediums can go beyond halfway. 26 lap race, so yeah, okay, the mediums can last a fair while around here, so expect drivers to be pitting right smack bang in the middle of the race. All 14 cars are lined up ready to run. We've got 26 laps awaiting us here in Azerbaijan. We got 5 red lights. We're underway here in Baku. It's a nice start from Barma 22. It's a nice start from Schulz as well, from P4. Goes up the inside, trying to battle the championship leader, but ultimately comes up short. He will stay in 3rd place. Around turn 2 we go. Blade trying to fight round the long way. Almost puts himself into the barrier as we head down the back straightaway for the first time in race conditions. It's Vermu who leads. Barma 2nd. Blade 3rd. Burzy now moves to 4th as Wingett overtakes Schulz as well. Schulz down to 6th place. You mean not the best of starts for Schulz out of turns 1 and 2. He has well and truly tumbled down the order. Matty Robbo up to P8, overtaking Scavney, who moves down to 9th. Through turn 5, into turn 6. They get well and truly behind Burzy, exiting the chicane, heading towards a hairpin of turn 7. Warren drops down to P14. He's had an accident. He has spun at turn 6. He gets going again, but he's a long ways behind. Vermu and Barma have already broken away. They've got 1.5 seconds to Electric Blade in 3rd. Burzy 4th. Wingett still in 5th. Schulz 6th. Garvey 7th. 8 tenths behind apparently, though the leaderboard isn't properly working just yet. Hopefully after this first lap the leaderboard will be working more accordingly. So in terms of position changes over the course of this first lap, it's Garvey who's made up the most out of anybody. Started P12, he's now up to P7. Ooga Booga's made up 2 places. Wingett, Burzy and Vermu have all gained 1. Biggest loser is Warren after his spin at turn 6. No one quite in a position to try and battle into turn 1 just yet. The intervals are still a bit wonky, good to know. Well, maybe when the drivers go through the first sector, they'll be working more accordingly. Nothing I hate more in these kinds of races where the leaderboard isn't properly working. Out of turn 3 towards turn 4. Barnum, he doesn't have to push. Does not have to push at all. He can just settle in 2nd, not lose too much time to Vermu. He'll get the position back when the pit stop cycle happens, when you'll have the tyre advantage towards the end of the race. Everyone else behind. No one really in any sort of position to try and attack yet. They're all a bit too far spread out right now. Hopefully when DRS becomes enabled, we'll get to see a bit more action between these guys. Yellows are out, it's Lopez spinning. No, he went straight on, it seems like. They're at turn 8. Can't see any front wing damage though on the Williams, so what I'm guessing is... he almost gave himself wing damage with that moment there at turn 12. What I assume he did is that he went straight on at turn 8. He backed the car up, got it pointed back in the right direction, but he's now down in last place. Warren was still Got a bit of catching up to do. 3.6 seconds behind. Ooga Booga now in P12. Around turn 1, Moose still leads, but he hasn't broken to. He hasn't broken outside of that 1 second range to Barmer in second. Barmer should be getting DRS here. No, he doesn't. Really? Blade does. Interesting. I would have thought that Barmer was within a second. I guess the game said no. Computer said no. Bersie's low on fuel. What have you got, mate? Hey, he's basically even. He's minus 0.00. He is dead set even in terms of fuel. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem as Wing It. My goodness. Had a huge slide coming out of turn 6. Gathered it up pretty well though. Hasn't lost too much time, which is the most important thing. But he needs to get within that 1 second range of Berzie. Otherwise he's going to fall to within the clutches of Schulz in P6. Yellow's out. It's Lopez again. Spinning at turn 6. Oh, and Ooga Booga has spun at the castle section. He's damaged his front wing. Making a real mess of getting himself back in the right direction. He eventually does, but he has lost an end plate. Barmer closing in now. 3:10 separating the top two. Blade not too far behind. Well, Barmer's going to scrap the conservative approach. He's going for it. DRS open. Closing in. To the outside, heading towards turn 1. Should pass the move before the braking zone, and does. The championship leader takes the race lead here at Baku. Vermoo, can he counter? Vermoo has to try and counter. Bit of a wiggle out of turn 2. Oh, a bit of weaving left and right. Vermoo not close enough to get the position back. Well, it's well and truly handing this race to Barmer. But then again, we've seen that in every other event so far. Scavney in the barrier. Completely destroyed front wing on the McLaren. No safety car. No virtual safety car whatsoever. There's debris on the racetrack, and we haven't got a safety car. Ooga Booga now comes out. Oh, he's now got a completely destroyed front wing on his Mercedes-Benz. Look at that. 2 cars with completely destroyed front wings with debris somewhere around the racetrack and no VSC. I'm telling you, if those 2 cars were Haas's, that would be a safety car. If that happened to Schulz, it would be a safety car. Out of turn 16. Heading around turn 17 towards turn 18. Around the flat-out right-hander of 19. It's quite a frightening corner, turn 19. It's so easy to run just a little bit wide and hit the Tech Pro barrier on the outside. Vermoo looking down the inside here at Barmer. Hasn't completely got him just yet, but in the braking zone he gets in front. Vermoo retakes the lead. Down towards turn 2, down to 3rd gear. Short shifts to 4th. Barmer, can he retake the lead down the back straight? He's got pace, he's got speed. Looks to the inside here, towards turn 2. Breaks it in deep, gets in front of Vermoo. Vermoo tries to over-under the Red Bull driver. Looking around the outside here at turn 4. Oh, now he does another over-under, exiting turn 4, heading towards turn 5. Barmer with the inside line, he's in the dominant position, he's able to control this battle. Keep Vermoo at bay. Vermoo, though, is drawing alongside, and down the inside he goes into turn 7. He gets back in front of Barmer. Good driving there from Vermoo. Into the castle section. Around turn 11, around turn 12. Now Blades joined the battle. 3-car fight out in front. Around turn 14, down towards 15. Hard on the brakes, down to 4th gear. Nice and tidy on the exit from all 3 drivers. There's Berzie in the background in P4. Out of turn 16. Vermouth's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. He might not just lose one, he might lose 2 positions if he's not careful. Out of 19. Down towards turn 20 and then down towards turn 1. DRS open. Barmer to the inside. Gets in front before the braking zone. Blade closes in, but not by enough. So Barmer retakes the lead on the beginning of lap 6. Towards turn 2. Vermouth, can he strike back? Down the back straight away we go. Vermouth's got battery in hand. Not spending too much of it though. Close but not close enough. Barmer will maintain the lead through turn 3 and into turn 4. Garvey under a bit of pressure now from Matty Robbo. Down towards turn 4. Yellows are out as Ooga Booga retires in the pit lane. I think. No! He's deliberately crashed out on track! Oh, for goodness sake, that's brought out a safety car! It's been a while since I've seen someone stupid enough to do that. It has been some time. Alright, safety car deployed. Anyone on the medium tyre could get a free pit stop here. If the mediums can do 15 laps, I'm sure the hard tyre can do 20. So everyone on the mediums, box, get onto the hards. Don't know what Barmer's going to do though. I've got no clue. And this helps Verzi as well. He's able to save some fuel now if he can. Alright, Barmer, what are you up to? He's in. Vermouth's in. Blade's in. Verzi. He is in. Wingett's in. This is a free stop for anyone on the medium tyre. Garvey stays out. Matty Robbo stays out. Nortec comes in. Switchback's in. Warren's in. Yeah, it was KD. It's been a while since I've seen someone deliberately crash out. So, there we go. Scavney, he's already on fresh tyres, he can stay out. Or he can pit again, put on some new fresh tyres, but no, he's staying out. You're using your battery though, mate. You're going to get in front of Lopez. You don't need to use battery. Alright, so Garvey is our new race leader, Matty Robbo in second. Barmer has got a task and a half. He's going to have to do 20 laps on those mediums, and the game says he can only do 15. So it's a bit of a stretch. Monza Season 9. Can't remember that far back. I've done too many league races to remember that stuff. Some things stick, the rest of it though, yeah. I've done too many to try and remember. Oh. Yeah, no, it's been a while since I've seen someone do that. This used to be a lot more common in previous games, especially F1 2019. It was particularly bad. Because in F1 2019, if you retired in the pit lane, it counted as a retirement on track, so it meant that the safety car could come out. So it was advised to not retire at any stage during an event. Poor race ban wreck. I vaguely remember something like that. Vaguely. long time ago now. Full race ban wreck. Yeah, I vaguely remember something like that. Alrighty, so this should be our final lap behind the safety car. So, situation is as follows. Garvey and Matty Robbo yet to pit. They're on 7-lap-old hards. Barmer, who was leading the way earlier, is now on a set of mediums. Vermoo, Electric Blade, Wingett, Schulz and Bursey. They're all on the hard compound tyre now. They basically were gifted a free pit stop. Nortec, Warren and Switchback, they're in the same boat as Barmer. It's going to be a hard task to get those tyres to the end. Scavney, he should be able to get those tyres to the end. Lopez, same boat as Barmer, Nortec, Warren and Switchback. So, interesting. No penalties as of yet. Cameron, oh, I remember that. Yes, I do remember that. Death Storm. Yeah, that huge freaking shunt at the exit of Parabolica. And Cameron drove directly into Lopez? Something like that? I do remember that now. I do remember. Yeah, I think Lopez was like perpendicular to the road and Cameron went straight into him. Yeah, I do remember. Or something like that. I do know what you're talking about now. Safety car in this lap. Alright, Mr. Garvey. You will now control the field. Yeah, I remember it well enough. Oh. But yeah, sorry. I do too many races. I forget a lot of things, but sometimes, as you pointed out, when you point out the details, something can click. Alright, Mr. Garvey. He takes off down the main straightaway. He's actually done a pretty solid job on this restart. Robbo has been caught napping. We're back on the green flag conditions. It's lap 9 of 26 here at Azerbaijan. Oh, not a tidy run though through turn 1 for Garvey. Bit of side-by-side action in the back as Barmer gets by Matty Robbo down the inside here at turn 2. Yellows are out, it's Matias. Oh dear. Lopez has spun out. Vermoo getting by Matty. Those hard tyres, yeah, don't seem to have a great deal of pace. Seems like Matty's dropped a couple of positions already. Next target that has, excuse me, the next driver that has him as a target is Electric Blade in P5. Down towards turn 7, Garvey under attack from Barmer, who goes down the inside here at turn 7, moves in front and retakes the lead. Vermoo backs out of a move there. I thought he was going to try and go too wide. You don't go too wide through the castle section. It should be a rule. Too dangerous to go too wide through there. Garvey just lets Vermoo through, doesn't want anything to do with it. Garvey lets Matty Robbo through. Oh dear. Yeah, he was a bit too courteous. He's just like, oh, and there goes Wingett. Oh dear. And he's destroyed his front wing. Oh, well, at least a bit of it. Oh, he's going to have to do a 3-point turn to get it pointed back in the right direction. Back it up some more. Oh, he almost hit the wall again. He needed to back it up a little bit more just to make sure he didn't get anywhere near that barrier. Yeah, he will break away, as expected. But it's a matter of how long those tyres will last now. Blade will overtake Robbo here. Well, not quite. Robbo trying to fight around a long way. Blade gets nice drive out of turn 1, and he has the inside line into turn 2. Gets in front, covers well. Switchback spun at the exit of turn 1. So Switchback having a moment. He's still 2.2 seconds though behind Scavney as Wingett pits in to repair his broken front wing. Down towards turn 4. Look at this train. All tightly stacked together. There's Vermouth, his Blade, Robbo, Garvey, Schulz, Spursy, Nortec, Warren just behind them. It's going to be tough for those on the medium tyre at the back of this train to move through. It's quite a famous thing in F1 video games. If you're stuck in a DRS train, you can't move forward. So... oh, a bit of a moment there from Nortec. He and Warren almost came together. Now Warren is under attack from Scavney. They're side by side through 13. How did that not result in an accident? Oh, gee whiz. Like, it's quite a wide bit of track, but you don't go side by side through a corner like that. Oh. We go around turn 17 towards turns 18 and 19. Yellows are out, it's Lopez spinning. Again, this time at the exit of 16. Barber pulling away. 2.7 seconds is now the gap between himself and Vermouth as DRS is now enabled. Danny Robbo still got company. Garvey right behind, Schulz in P6. There's Bursey. Nortec has overtaken Warren. Warren down to 9th, Nortec up to 8th. Does Warren have DRS? No, he doesn't. Uh-oh. Here comes Warren to move back through into P8. Gets in front before the braking zone. Garvey gets Matty Robbo into turn 3. Yellow flags are out. That is Lopez spinning again at the exit of turn 1. Side by side, almost 3 wide now as we're heading towards turn 5. Robbo to the inside. Garvey to the outside. Rolls reverse here at turn 6. Contact! Garvey gets in front. Robbo has a poor run. Schulz to the inside. Dives it in at turn 7, pulls it up just, gets in front. Oh, but spins, and into the wall he goes. Oh dear. Might have been a couple of things that resulted in that spin. Could have been a bit too much gas. He might have got a hit up the rear as well, because it was quite a sudden spin. But his front wing looks pretty intact, or at least he's got most of it. Is he missing an end plate? No, he's not. Here comes Warren, down the inside. Gets in front. Warren moves into P6. Dumping his battery as well, trying to pull away from Bursey. Bursey's got a ton of battery to play with at 65%. Yellow's out at switchback at the exit of turn 12. Dumping the battery. Here comes Bursey to the inside at turn 1. Nortec closing in. Can he do anything from here? No, he can't. Oh, almost contact between Bursey and Warren, and through goes Nortec. He takes the pair of them. What a run. Contact again. Warren serves up Bursey. Bursey almost goes into the barrier, and here comes Warren on the attack. Moves through to take P6. Into turn 3. Oh, he broke quite early there, Nortec. Bursey managed to pull the car up just. See the wing mirror on the Alfa Romeo just fill up with red. I thought we were going to have an accident. Fortunately, we didn't. Through turn 5, into turn 6. There's Scavney just behind as well. P9. Around turn 7. Oh, a bit of understeer there. Wasn't a great run out of the corner. Around turn 12, heading around the old city now. There's the old city, all of that on the inside. That's the old sort of original city of Baku. Then from there, the city modernizes. Like, you particularly notice it heading down the main straightaway. You see all the modern skyscrapers. But originally speaking, that's sort of where the city of Baku originated. Through turns 18 and 19. And now down the long main straightaway. There you can see the sort of modernisation. The further you get away from the old city central, see all the skyscrapers and whatnot. Garvey and Robbo contact, I heard. So Garvey was on the inside of Robbo. Robbo almost went into the barrier. Or contact again. Gee whiz. Robbo is going to try and attack Garvey. Warren doesn't have the straight line speed to attack Matty Robbo. Robbo to the outside here at turn 3. Sends it in. Round the long way. Oh, and he kept it out of the barrier too. Warren moves through into 5th place now. Down the inside at turn 4. That was a nice move there from the Red Bull driver. Lopez spins out at turn 16. Around turn 5. Into turn 6. And down this short straightaway towards 7. All the cars make their way out of the section pretty tidily there. Around the hairpin. Oh, and contact between DK and Garvey there at turn 7. Nortec either lost control or he purposely gave up the position. He really did send it down the inside there. I have a feeling he might have deliberately gave that position up. But it means now that Garvey has got 1.4 seconds to Warren, who I think just scraped the outside wall there at turn 13. Down the hill. Warren with very little battery to play with. Matty Robbo has got fairly decent amount. 60 odd % at the exit of turn 16. Alright, how will those behind catch up to these two now? Really need Robbo and Warren to battle. Yellow's out again, it's Lopez. Oh, he's backed off deliberately. Interesting. Garvey, Nortec. Nortec moves through. Contact and, well, someone had to give. Oh, and it's both McLarens. Both Scavney and Garvey spin. Warren closing in down the back straight. Jules has retired from the session. He's had enough. Down the inside goes Warren. They're side by side exiting turn 3 towards turn 4. Warren gets in front. He's into P4. Robbo down to 5th, but I have a feeling this isn't exactly over. So Schulz voluntarily retiring in the pit lane. He's had enough all today, it seems. Lopez is not having a fun time with this car. He is spinning everywhere with it. Switchback closing in. I'm going to assume he's going to get by. There we are. And Schulz has now left the session. He's well and surely had enough. Barmer out in front. Got my B's confused. He's leading. 3.4 seconds. Well out in front. Plenty of battery to play with as well. But again, you've got to think about tyres for Barmer. The move, he is set to go to the end. Same with Blade, Warren. He's got a comfortable gap to the car behind now. He's got 1.5 seconds over Robbo. Nortec is trying to close in. That's now 1.5 seconds between himself and the car in front. It's a similar gap between Nortec and Burzy in P7. Well, I have a feeling, folks, this is the stage of the race where there's not going to be much happening at all. We're going to have to wait a while until we see some stuff happening again. Yellow's out. Is that Barmer? No, he hasn't lost time. It must have been Switchback then, making a mistake. Garvey leaves the pit lane. New front wing, I believe, on the car. New medium tyres. Those tyres should easily go to the end from here. Burzy gets by Lopez, I believe. Yellows are out. That was... yes, that was a slow moving Lopez. Bringing out Yellows. He was trying to get out of the way of his fellow competitors. Oh, got a fair chunk of understeer there just after the apex. But he managed to get some late rotation and not hit the barrier. There's Robbo, Nortec, Burzy. Burzy is well and truly closed in. His switchback scratched out. And is at turn 19. No safety car just yet. There's his car. How is that not a safety car game? Explain that one to me. He is quite literally perpendicular to the racetrack, covering 2/3 of it. Look at him. No safety car. This game is a joke. Down towards turn 1. We've now got a new battle pack forming that is led by Matty Robbo in 5th. It's got DK Nortic. It's got Burzy and Scavney. Sorry, no, that's Lopez. Apologies. It's only a 3-car fight. Lopez is just at the back of the train, just chilling, watching along. So Nortic, he has to close in by 7.5 tenths to try and challenge Matty Robbo. Burzy. Oh, well, Burzy, I was about to mention, has to close in a similar amount, but that helps. Nortek overshooting turn 4 by quite a bit. Through turn 6, down this short straight. Doesn't go for the move. Stays behind. Through turn 7. Little wheel spin at the exit of 7, but he kept the car nice and straight. Through turn 11. Turn 12. Buried in the slipstream, heading around turn 13. Around turn 14 towards 15. As he actually loses a little bit of time, Nortek. So I'm guessing Nortek has got some pretty decent straight line speed in that Alfa Romeo. Around turn 16, missed the apex there by a fair chunk. And as a result, he loses about 1.5 tenths to Nortek. You can see as well on the telemetry, he has got a fairly decent sized stack of battery. 70% compared to Nortek on 16. I think Robbo's pitting in. Yep, there he goes. So he'll be pitting onto the medium tyre and going to the end of the race on those. So what was a 3-car fight is now a 2-car fight between Nortek and Burzy. And now Burzy has got a massive advantage because he's behind and he has DRS. Whereas Nortek doesn't have anything. Through goes Burzy into P5. Switchback has left the session. Fair enough. Yellow's out. That is Lopez at turn 3. He's still running. That's the main thing. Barmer leading the way. 6 seconds in hand. A metric ton's worth of battery in supply. Looking comfortable. Still got a long way to go though. When he crosses the line, that'll be the beginning of lap 18. That will mean 9 laps to go. Still a long way to go on those tyres. Vermeer sitting comfy in P2. Blade in P3. Warren in P4. Got a decent sized gap to Burzy, who has now built up a margin already of 1.4 seconds over Nortek. Now I can't help but feel that's going to increase. Oh, excuse me. All these guys back here minding their own business. A bit too far behind anybody to try and battle. Lopez, he's just happy to be here. You can see his avatar there because of the car ghosting. Pretty cool. Don't really know where to look, folks. Keep our eye on the leader, shall we? Making our way out of turn 4 towards turns 5 and 6. How hard are you pushing, Barmer? Very gentle. Look at the telemetry. He is being incredibly gentle with the car. And it's completely understandable. He has to make this car last, or rather these tyres last 20 laps. So he's driving the car with his thumb and forefinger. He's lightly giving it steering inputs. Not asking too much of the car. He's being gentle on the brakes. Gentle on the accelerator. Look at him. Just little fairy inputs here and there. 4th gear. Tucks the car into the apex. Gets a lovely exit. All it is incredibly tidy driving. Yep, this is the Barmer and Barmer style. When Barmer does Barmer things because he's Barmer. But it is fascinating, and fair credit to Barmer as well. Not all this talent, all this speed. He's also got enough brain power to just reel it back a bit and just hit your marks. Hit the apex. Make sure you not use too much of the tyre at any given time. Just be really gentle. I am more than 100% certain that he'll be able to push it harder, but there's absolutely no need to. Lopez having a moment. Warren's in. So I'm guessing he's worn his tyres out to the point where he thinks he can't make it, so he's going to go for a 2-stop here, which isn't going to completely screw him, because there is a train of cars coming up being led by Wingett. If he gets in front of that, P7 is still very solid, and now you're on fresh tyres. Yeah, he will get well in front of that group. So yeah, P7 right now, fresh tyres to go to the end of the race, and you got a target as well, Scavney. He'll have in the back of his mind, right, I'm 6.5 seconds behind the car in front. Let's not drive stupidly and over aggressively. Let's just hit our marks and see how close we can get. You know, because seventh is still points. That's what you got to focus on. Oh, is that Lopez again? Must be, yeah, at turn 2. But I always feel like when you got a target in front of you, it's always a lot easier to drive, because you have that reference point and you're constantly telling yourself, right, I need to get closer to that guy, I need to catch up. Usually makes you drive just that little bit better. Wingett behind, I don't think Wingett will be able to do anything in that sort of position. Matty Robbo has closed in. This is a battle for the final point scoring places, P9 and 10. It's a battle for something, at the very least, between these two. Ultimately screwed thanks to the safety car that came around on lap 6. But they're fighting for something, which is, you know, more than nothing. A lot more than nothing. Through turns 18 and 19. Robbo's close. He can go for a move here. Because of how incredibly long this DRS zone is, he should be able to get by. He is. Easy as you like. Robbo into 9th position. Can Garvey do anything? Doesn't have a lot of battery to play with. Oh, not the best of runs through turn 2 either. He might be able to keep up with Robbo, but I don't think he'll be launching an attack anytime soon. Heading down the hill into turn 16. Heading through the final sector. Using a little bit of battery just to keep the momentum up. He's now starting to lose time. Vermeer needs to drive out of his skin to try and close up on Barmer though. 6 seconds. That's a big gap to close up. But it all completely revolves around how good Barmer's tyres are. As Garvey's made a mistake through the castle section. He's broken his wing as well. There's debris. No safety car, no VSC, no nothing. I reckon Barmer would have liked the VSC. Even a safety car, you would have liked that. You would have pit in, put on soft tyres and go to the end. But no safety car. Gap shrunk now to 6 seconds, 6.1. Through turn 4. Up towards turns 5 and 6. Robbo's caught up to Wingett. Not just caught up, he's passing Wingett. Robbo into P8 now. And Warren has closed in on Scavney. The gap shrunk to 4.1 seconds. Barmer has actually pulled away from Vermeer. How about that? He's still got some decent pace in those tyres. Not giving up anytime soon. He's driving it apex perfect right now. Every apex is spot on. Each steering input, braking input, throttle input. It's close to as perfect as it can be, considering the situation he's in. As I said earlier, I'm almost certain he can go a lot faster than this, but he's making sure his tyres can make it. And not blow out like the real life Red Bull car of Max Verstappen at this very place last year. So long as that doesn't happen, he should be able to take the checkered flag quite comfortably with 5 laps to go now. Yellow's out, that is Lopez again. Having a moment. It's going again. He's still running, that's the main thing. Warren is close to within 2.9 seconds now of Scavney. Down the main straightaway we go, dumping all of the battery. He has none left. 204 miles an hour, the peak speed we're hitting. We head into turn 1. Getting some battery back. Now into turn 2. Can he catch Scavney? And if he can he then pass Scavney? Scavney doesn't have much battery to play with either, with only 13%. So neither driver having a great deal of resources at hand. Is that Nortec? It is! Nortec has spun! Or he might disqualify himself here. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, Nortec. It's a load... Oh, I was going to say something then. I managed to control myself. But it's a load of... rubbish. That's the least colourful word I could use to describe that. There are plenty of words I could use to describe that. I'm going to go with rubbish. So then I don't get in trouble with the Twitch gods. But it's so dumb. It is so dumb that a driver who drives the wrong way for literally 3 meters gets disqualified for driving the wrong way. It's so instantaneous. I mean, what exactly is he meant to do? This is a street circuit. If you do a flick spin here, there's a pretty decent chance you end up in the barrier. So you need to be careful, you need to line yourself up, you need to make sure you're as close to the outside wall as possible when you begin the flick spin. That takes time, it takes some preparation to point the right way. But the game doesn't care. Yellow's out, that's Burzy having a moment. At a moment at turn 6. And he's got a destroyed front wing to boot. Well, isn't this going to hurt the Ferrari driver? What was a guaranteed 4th place, he's thrown it away. With one mistake at turn 6. Man, that's gonna sting. And Scavney's closing in. Now Warren's closing in. Warren's now 1 second behind Scavney. He will be getting some DRS assistance very shortly. In fact, he'll get it on this lap. As we head out of turns 18 and 19 and around turn 20, Warren will be on the attack. DRS open. Closing in on Scavney. Burzy, he's going to try and stay out. Not that he'll finish in 4th. He's going to lose so much time. Gap between the top 2, by the way, has closed up. 4.7 is now the gap. Was that... Oh, it's race leader! The race leader, Barmer, has made a mistake through the castle section. Has he got a puncture? No, he doesn't. He genuinely made a mistake through the castle section. And he's got front wing damage. My goodness me. Right at the end, he's thrown it away. He was in a perfect position to take this race. He was driving absolutely spot on and he's thrown it away. That wasn't a puncture, that was a genuine mistake through the castle section. Vermoo has now taken the lead, and Burzy, what's happened? He's gone straight on at turn 8. Oh, the whole race is just unfolding in front of our eyes. Everything's collapsing. Warren close now. Oh, that was very close to Scavney there. Looking to the inside here at turn 16. He gets in front. He's into P4. But I can't help but feel he's overtaken too soon, because Scavney will get him back. And now Robbo's joined the battle. Winger has moved by Burzy. He's into 7th. Oh, with a big slide through turn 16 to boot. Scavney closing in with DRS assistance. He'll get back by Warren into 4th place. But now Robbo's closing in. Into turn 1. Up towards turn 2 now. Warren will be able to counter-attack. Winged and Burzy pit. A huge slide there from Warren. Robbo right on the back of this now. He's got battery to spare. Just a little bit, but maybe that's just enough. Through turn 3. Oh, you can see Scavney defending. Contact! My goodness, at turn 4. And here comes Robbo to take advantage and move through into 4th place. Oh, but he smacks the inside wall at turn 5. That might have given him damage. Down towards turn 7 now, the hairpin. No one close enough to battle through here. Robbo, well and truly, cut a lot of turn 7 there. Tell you what, I think that scrape against the wall, he might have gotten away with that. Now got a clear track in front. Can he pull away? He's certainly trying. He's now got 7.5 tenths in hand. Very peculiar, though, to see Warren's car kick sideways like that when he was on the outside. Would have liked an onboard of that view as Warren sends it in too deep. Overshoots the corner. Loses the place that he was trying to gain. He should get DRS here down the main straight. Scavney almost put it into the wall. Runs out of battery. Opens DRS. Almost contact between the two cars. Warren gets in front. He's into P5. Scavney brake. Oh, overshoots turn 1. Oh, no. I thought Scavney broke early. He didn't. Scavney broke exactly where he needed to brake. Warren overshot massively at turn 1. Luckily, he wasn't too late that he put it into the barrier on the outside of turn 1. But I think that will end that battle for P5. What a peculiar a peculiar set of circumstances over the course of these final 6 laps or so. All the drama, all the chaos happened all at once. And it's going to be Vermoo out in front who's going to take the win here in Baku. Barmer had this race in hand, had a comfortable margin in hand, but he threw it away and Vermoo picked up the pieces. Vermoo will win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Barmer's win streak has come to an end. Completing the podium places will be Electric Blade in 3rd. Matty Robbo will come across the line in 4th when he does. Oh, Warren's not done yet though. He has closed back in. He is 4.5 tenths behind. He's dumping whatever battery he's got. Scavney's got battery in hand though. Going to be a drag race here. Warren will have DRS and a slipstream. Scavney's got track position and a battery. Plenty of battery life in hand. And it looks like Scavney's going to win the battle. He's going to finish in 5th. Warren will finish P6. Next across the line will be Wingett in P7. Looking at the position changes, it will more than likely be Warren who will get driver of the day. We'll wait and see what the game says though. Crossing the line now. P7 and fastest lap for Wingett. 41 plus 7. Can Bersey beat it? He can. 41.6. Garvey will be the next car who crosses the line. And Lopez will finish inside the top 10. He will score 1 point. He scores a point. Matty Robbo was given driver of the day. He made up quite a few places with some pretty neat overtaking as well. Fair enough. Time for the podium celebrations. Well, Vermeer didn't put a foot wrong, and as a result, he will win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Barmer's winning streak has come to an end. A mistake through the castle section lost him the lead. He'll finish second. Electric Blade will complete the podium places in third. Alright. The unofficial results of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Vermeer wins it by 4.4 seconds over Barmer 22, with Electric Blade finishing in third. Driver of the day was given to Matty Robbo, who ends up finishing in fourth. Scavney fifth, Warren sixth, followed by Wingett in seventh, Bersey eighth with fastest lap, Garvey ninth, and Lopez will score a point in P10. Switchback retired from the session with a huge shunt at turn 19. Schulz retired in the pit lane. Ooga Booga deliberately crashed out on the main straightaway, which caused the safety car on lap 6. And Nortek was screwed by the game, disqualifying him after driving backwards for 3 meters. So he will end up scoring nothing. I'm sure Nortek is very impressed after what happened there. There we are, a race that started with 14, ended with 10, and plenty of moments of drama throughout that one. Especially at the end, it all just kicked off at the end. I have no idea why. Everyone was set to finish as they were. I wasn't expecting anything, and then it all kicked off. It all just crumbled. Had moments of drama left and right. We had some battling here and there. It was all very strange. We had some interesting tyre strategies going on that ultimately didn't mean too much, because Barmer's tyres made it quite easily. Even after... Oh, go away. Even after the spin he had, I don't think his tyres punctured, so they could do 20 laps. He threw it away, and Vermeer ends up taking the win here at Baku. That's the second time I've seen Barmer throw away a race win here at Baku. So yeah, and at a similar section as well. Last time I remember he did it at turn 12. This time he did it at turn 11. So yeah, Baku is not a racetrack he likes, I think. So, man, that was something. That was certainly something. A final congratulations to our podium finishers. Well done, Vermeer, on winning this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But I think, folks, with everything said and done, it's time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for round 5 of the championship at Autodromo Internacional do Algarve for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Man, the drama doesn't stop. Portugal, definitely one of the toughest racetracks we're going to go to this season. We'll talk about that more next week. Until then, it's goodbye.